stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'm gonna stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. At the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'm gonna stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
Я батько.
Я молодший брат.
Я водій маршрутки. Я скоро одружуся. Я фанат шахтера.
Начальник отдела продаж.
Я прораб.
Я программист.
Я свидетель на свадьбе.
Дядя Юра, таксист.
Я вчитель фізкультури.
Я студент-геолог.
У мене своя фірма.
Я кращий друг зі школи.
Я сусід, який завжди стукає по батареї.
Я єдиний син.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
Put on your uniform right.
Expert Action Badge.
Show up to work on time.
Expert Action Badge.
Qualify on your weapon.
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
Find your guide on.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your noble warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action. The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
This is like forever. We're like in 2020, version 2 of 20 of excellence. Broadcast live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence, deep in the mountain bunker, somewhere in the middle of the country, away from everybody and all the drama. Yeah. I'm gonna start his time. What's going on, guys? What were you saying?
We just this is the only football talk that's allowed.
Oh, what's that?
When I'm on, is the halftime show that's coming up. So, because you brought up Ice Cube, and it just reminded me of all of my 90s loves.
Oh my
that
God.
I'm so excited to see.
That Super Bowl halftime show is going to be badass. Whoever gets to the Super Bowl, again, hopefully it's fucking the Bengals against somebody. I have a lot of
who it is. I'm just going to watch the halftime show and go on with my life.
I got a lot of drama from my Kansas City fans, man. Holy shit. Now talking about disowning me, and I can't believe you would say that. And I'm like, if I had lost the bet and I had said Kansas City, I would have been wearing Kansas City accoutrements myself. You know what I mean? So it's not like I had any, it's not like I have any favorite. I lost the bet. I said, you know what? And I learned my lesson. So I don't wear that crap. So there you go.
Yeah.
You can't fault me for that.
Like I said, I don't care who's playing. I'm
Right.
just there for some commercials maybe. And because I'm expecting a commercial, I'm hoping, and that's more of a Tuesday thing, but because I'm expecting a preview or a trailer for a show that I'm waiting for to come out, and I am waiting, and I want to see the halftime show. I don't care who's playing.
Yeah, it's a trailer.
Or who wins or anything like that. I don't do the sports things.
Spanky's down the hall from the mic. Yes, she is down the hall from the mic. I mean, are you saying that Spanky's not loud?
Oh, I can get loud. Yeah, I gotta realize I was sick. My voice still sounds like
That's why I'm not messing with you about your soundage. I'm just gonna let you be. I'm gonna let you be on your own, because I know, man. Anyway, so right now, currently, yes, that was the Ukrainian armed forces video that you guys saw, and I don't care. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play the Ukrainian armed forces video. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play the other one too. And
am I telling you what to do on your show?
No, it's just. Here's the thing: is that I get a lot of messages, and I scan the chats, and I scan all the what people are talking about and all that, and most of it is just like literally some, because Ukraine, and I'm thinking, where's everybody else who wants to go to war with Ivan for this stuff? I didn't see you like, I don't know, through the last 20 some odd years or so. Doing the Infinity War part. So we get to talk as much shit as we want about fighting or not fighting against Ivan. If that makes sense. What's that? Everyone's God. You guys are like talking about Ukraine in the chats too. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was trying to catch up with everybody because everybody's like,
Everyone's like, oh, Ukraine. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Scott says football sucks anyways. Go play a real sport like sim-rounds and assless chaps. Well, you know what, Scott? Chaps are always assless, so I don't know what chaps you're wearing.
I mean, if they have ass, then they're just
pants. They're pants. They wouldn't be called chaps. You know what I mean? They're assless. They would just be called,
pants.
They're not called assless chaps. You mean assless pants? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, then assless pants are just called chaps.
There you go. Semantics, picking pepper out of flesh, and of course, here with our linguistical functional center of excellence, functional veteran center of excellence. But I've been shooting Ivans for the last 20 years. Man, on Call of Duty, man, so I play Call of Duty too. And, because I keep up with the childrens, because, I got kids, and they want to play Call of Duty. So they go on freaking, Call of Duty, and they talk smack, and I hear them talking smack, and I just have curious questions. And, man, they get pissed off when you start talking about Ukraine and how much we're going to kick that ass. Try it, Ivan.
I will say when I first retired, I spent a lot of time playing video games, and I'm like playing with kids because it's during the day, and I'm like, why aren't y'all at school?
Yeah, exactly.
But they weren't all in the U.S., so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna shoot you in the face anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. I wish I had. What was that? Gordon says he wish he had some chaps. Hashtag cavalry. Anyway, so they everyone's like, oh, why you doing something with the Ivan stuff? I'm like, really? Are you fucking for real? All these guys that spout all the Reagan shit and all this stuff, the expansion of communism and all that, and all of a sudden, now it's like nobody wants to. Yes, that is Wolverines, exactly that, from Red Dawn. Keeps me warm. Damn right, Wolverines. But anyways, no, I don't have gold spurs. I'm sorry, I don't ever, I don't ever do that. That's I don't do the spur thing, or the chaps thing. Depends. I mean, unless I'm rodeoing of excellence, and then of course I might wear the proper accoutrement for that type of activity.
Wait, you've rodeoed?
I will say that a lot of people's like, you don't seem like a horseman or a type of type-ish, whatever. I mean, I can't do it now because my back would like snap in half, and I'm all
right. But I never knew you did like rodeo things.
Pieces of me would be people. I mean, when I went to war horses, they're like, talking to some of the guys, I'm like, they walk me through the horse, and then one of the guys that I was talking to, I got on there, and they're like, oh, you've ridden it before? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's just like riding a bike or riding a motorcycle. Riding something else. You just get back in the swing of things. You're like, rah, here we go. It's time to do this. But yeah, it was. I don't know. It's just, you should be concerned about what's going on in Ukraine. There's a lot of talk going on. There's letters been written, firm diplomatic letters been written about you will or you should do this, or we'll shut down that, or we'll do this, and we'll meet with overwhelming force of that.
I have not even been able to keep up. I'm like, I know, like, we're sending troops nearby, and, there's words being exchanged, and I guess words are in writing now. So there's receipts of words being exchanged.
There is receipts, and there's people.
So, just give me, like, the basic, what the hell is going on?
Just people being mean, and Ukraine is Ivan's surrounded Ukraine. Pretty much Ukraine is surrounded by Ivan and all these Ivan forces. Almost, the numbers vary from what people talk about. They're saying that it could be, hundreds of thousands, 100,000, up to 90,000. So it's been back and forth on who's on the numbers. But yeah, Ivan looked like he is poising to do something.
So he just wants like Ukraine back to be part of USSR, like in the 80s or something.
Something too. It's like, I don't understand. Why is it? Thank you. I appreciate the links. It is. How all of a sudden this last 4 weeks or something like that, it just got started spinning up. What was the whole thing of them spinning up airborne? Yeah, exactly. Right now the IRF, the GRF, the Global Response Force. It has been, I don't want to say it's been kind of confirmed, but a little bit, but they are part of, I think Secretary Spokesman Kirby did say that the Global Response Force is part of the 8,500 troops alert.
We cannot let those Fort Bragg people jump in anywhere because they are already like arrogant enough when they
What
haven't
are you
jumped anywhere
talking
in,
about?
Like 30 million years.
I have said this before. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. I'm just saying right now.
I'm not hating.
No, but I'm saying I've said this before though. I said IRF is the way of life. It's a lifestyle in itself. It's something that big army, GPF, general purpose forces, they don't understand. It's a lifestyle. There's a specific sequence of events that happens in the IRF status, and it's a unique lifestyle. It's very fast paced, heavy amount of training. A lot of stuff that you see people crying on fucking Facebook or Twitter about. Oh, I don't get to do this. My NCO doesn't let me do that. Blah blah blah. You don't have those. You can't have those complaints in IRF status because that's exactly what it's for. 18 hours, wheels up, and you were up and out. That's it. As you gone. And yes, there is possibly a course of action that the 82nd or the 3rd Infantry Division or the 10th Mountain, any of those rapid reaction forces would do something. Believe it or not, someone says 3rd ID can't be rapid reaction. It actually can be. Then there's a lot of there's a lot of specific packages that go into place when it comes to something like that to get set up. I know about it because as a first sergeant, I had to ascend some of my guys and gals to the IRF to be part of the GRF team. The GRF, so we supported the 80, and so all of those N-hour sequences, 8-hour sequences, packing lists. All that heavy training, it all had to happen, and my guys had to be on their planning cycle. They had to be on their. You couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you couldn't have a pass, you couldn't have this. So it's one of those things to where it has to happen. There is no such thing as blah blah. And yes, is there ball breaking? Of course No,
I haven't been a dental. I can't go. None of that.
Oh no, yeah, they'll yank them teeth out the plain side, man. What are you talking about? They will rip them shits right out. But my biggest thing is that it is one of those things that people don't realize just what that type of capability that exists out there. Everyone's like, brag and brag. Those guys, last time you guys did a jump, combat jump, blah 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 blah. Well, what if it happens? What if it happens? What if it? You know what I mean?
No, I completely get it, and I am definitely one of the ones that fuck with the back at brag guys. But
yes, I know.
I guess it's just kind of showing why it's still needed.
All right, real quick.
But hopefully, you never have to use it.
Let me look around here right now. Let me. Okay, Spanky, don't close your ears for a second. She breaks my balls all the time about fucking back and brag shit. All I do is say, "Hey, do we do this?" And then she's like, "You're not gonna back and brag, can are you?" I'm like, "Well, no, I'm just saying, I'm just saying back and brag, like a parrot, back and brag."
I mean, you never hear me say back a hood.
No, right, exactly. Well, no one really says back at hood. Nobody comes back from hood. What are you talking about?
Right.
Spanky's not making dinner, but she's.
That just doesn't have the same ring to it.
It doesn't exactly. Spanky is furiously typing on her keyboard. That's what that.
Sorry.
So don't let the keyboard hit you on the ass. She's she's busy
and there
interacting
might be
with you guys.
noise going on in my house too that I can't hear. My kid's actually home. She's usually not home on Thursday nights.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what's going on.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm not making dinner. So sorry.
Yeah. So we'll see. There are already units probably in place. This is what pisses me off. A long time ago, we used to have 2 divisions in Europe. We used to have it.
Right?
We used to
not
have
even that long ago.
We used to have a corps headquarters there. We had we had a lot of people there. And some genius decided to say, well, actually, I could throw some actuallys out. And all these generals were shaking their heads going, yep, that's a good course of action, sir. And they all went with it, right? And then all of a sudden now, freaking 5th Corps stood back up. But they can't stand up anywhere because everyone's pissed off that Poland made a deal with D. Treasy. And so now they want to talk about some shit like that. So now anything that's related to the former guy or the former president or what everyone likes to don't like to say, President Trump, then one likes to claim credit to that. I don't see why we don't put forces there right now. Hey, Poland, guess what? You wanted to give us Fort Trump? There we go. We won't call it Fort Trump, but of course, that's what we were joking around about that stuff. But call it whatever, Name it after some badasses from the GWAT. You know what I mean? Some individuals. Name some posts or installations there, or build a giant post like Fort Hood. You know what I mean? I keep saying like Fort Hood.
We can just move Hood over there.
Yeah.
Just it'll be fine. It's all fine. No, I mean, there's a reason why. I know I just yelled that. Sorry. There's a reason why we have, or had, divisions in Germany, and we have Air Force in England, and I mean, we still have, everybody over in Korea. It's not just like, oh, we think North Korea is going to attack tomorrow, but it's a lot quicker if we're already there.
Right. And that was the whole reason why we stayed in Germany to begin with, is to keep postured against Ivan, right? Everyone was talking about Fort Alwyn Cache. There you go. Fort Cache in Poland would be pretty cool, or Cache Concern, or Cache Installation. So that's what we were there for. The whole time we were postured there, and there was there was a whole bunch of documents and studies from Rand, and everyone was just like, yes, we don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need this, we don't need this anymore, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, really? As soon as exactly that, there was the guys saying that we're reporting to 1st Armored Division there in Germany, because 1st Armored Division was the heavy division there. Tanks. Anybody want some tanks? And now no. Now we have to rotate people out there. Now we have to rotate units. Division, now we have to conduct exercises to put forces out there, so that way in the event, flip, there we go.
Right. And I'm trying to think, it's like in Korea as well, you're sending rotations over there. Like, how is that cheaper?
Right.
I don't get, than just having a standing brigade at least.
Right.
I don't get it. But again, they don't pay me to do fiscal policy and strategery and all that.
Recruiter times, you should call it Fort Stripper Bitten.
Say that one more time. What?
Fort Stripper Bitten. Those strippers that were biting on all those 101st Airborne Division guys in Poland, doing their things in Poland. Shit happens. A lot of shit happens in Poland. It's almost like a European Vegas for soldiers going over there, TDY. Trace says, what's the possibility of the Ukrainian shit actually popping off? Wow. At this point, we've never gotten to this far of all the rhetoric. When Russia took over the Crimea, we kind of just said, yeah, you shouldn't have done this before, and, yeah. Russia also invaded freaking Georgia. Not our Georgia, but the country of Georgia.
They can have our Georgia.
They're Americans. They're still Georgians are still Americans, even though there are some there are some individuals there that need to just go away.
Take Fort Gordon with them.
Take Fort Gordon. Take some installations or some shit. But the same thing, Crimea. Everyone kind of and we all got all plastered up and everything like that. When they invaded Georgia, we had guys that were there training the Georgian military. Yeah, and that's if you look back, Google it up, Georgia, U.S. Forces Equipment Taken Invasion, click, and you look that up, and you're thinking, holy crap. James said, a private in my unit tried to wear a combat patch for her rotation to Poland. What? You're bullshitting, right? They can't be real, right? Are you really Is this an urban legend? Are you bullshitting? Are you for real? Oh,
it's got to be. I want proof. Pics.
Yeah, I need receipts. You got pictures of this individual posting stuff like that. This is James. I swear. I'm not saying that we've seen privates do crazy shit, but I will say we've seen privates do some crazy shit. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
I would not be surprised.
Because I was in Kuwait when they, stopped doing the soldier sleeve insignia for foreign war type service for people in just in Kuwait. And so, I could see a kid doing that because, you once were allowed. But when's the last time you were allowed to get a combat patch in Poland?
Right.
I think it was in my great-grandfather's.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. Baconator said that it was, let me scroll back to that comment there. Baconator said, was it a Tide Pod stapled on? I'm sorry. We're going to make fun of the youngs just like the youngs make fun of the olds. So that just comes with the territory.
Yes, we have to.
You're all going to break balls. That's what you get.
that major that went into the strip club should get a combat patch.
Should get one or two, exactly. The Russians are also bolstering units with Iranian forces right now, as well as another topic. Yep. And do you know if Russian Tu-160s have entered Alaskan airspace? I know there's been some interdictions going on, but I don't know the specific details of that because I'm mostly focusing right now on the news and a lot of stuff with Ukraine. But however, I know North Korea launched some hypersonic missiles or did some missile tests already, and which I kind of like, what's that, Poos? Oh look, it's Poos. But yeah, it is. I mean, let's see. Let's go back. Let's go back to.
Well, they're saying like they're entering Alaskan airspace. What's her name? Isn't she supposed to be able to shoot them down? What's her name?
Sarah Palin.
Oh, Sarah Palin. Just get her on.
Why are you being so mean to Sarah Palin? She's so. Why are you being mean to her? She could see.
Not being mean.
She could see. She could see Russia from her porch. What are you talking about?
Yeah. She could defend Alaska.
Blame Canada. You ain't lying, Les. That was one of us. Actually, I'm glad you talked about that because I was just gonna shoot the shit about that too. An F-35 had a U.S. F-35 had crashed and it fell off. I guess it fell off the freaking side of a boat or some shit like that as well, and it's down at the bottom of the ocean. So now there's a big race to capture the wreckage to get from Ivan to get it because we don't want Ivan to get it.
Oh, I just had to type. I know it's loud, but it was asked if the Russian army is allowed on TikTok. And I'm like, yep, they're on TikTok.
Yes, they are on TikTok.
Yeah,
exactly. You can find exactly that.
Doing the things that the kids do.
They are on the talks. They are on the talks. But anyways, as a matter of fact, they're really restrictive on TikTok. What they do, like China. What they do with their soldiers and what they do with their civilians, how they treat their populace and stuff. They have a whole different method of.
Sorry.
Whoa.
I was trying to pull up a TikTok video, but it's just I can't get it to do it quietly, so I'll do it later. I was gonna drop the TikTok video because yes, I'm like you can find like any army like in the world doing soldier dancings on TikTok. This is not just an American soldier thing.
Right. Right. I like how everybody gets mad and says it's the end of the world if
oh my God.
Because we have TikTok, we have soldiers on the talks, and I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? That's not gonna freaking happen. They made. Oh, Eliza says they made Specialist Joel remove a lot of her content. Who's they?
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of John. We posted an article from Task and Purpose about that, by the way. About that story about Specialist Joel, about that one NCO who had made some comments like that and was talking about it, and you got reported as sexual harassment and also this. Here's the thing that makes me mad about the Army social media policy since we're on the topic. It's a pick and choose type of thing we're seeing a lot.
Absolutely. And she says it was her unit is they. This has happened before TikTok. This has happened on Facebook, YouTube. And a lot of times commands will have them, make their stuff private, this, that, or whatever, while it's, investigated. Because commanders just read the same social media policy we do, and that's not all in black and white. So, once it kind of goes through legal, then legal's like, no, it's okay. May not like what they're doing, but there's nothing against policy and this or whatever. And then the stuff will magically appear back up. It's happened to former guests of ours.
What are you talking? It's happened to guests with our. I want to tell you a story right quick.
Okay.
How it happens? What really pisses me off of when the Army social media program says it's what it's supposed to be, and it's fucking not. There are individual cliques that are fucking out there that will literally specifically try to go out and drag soldiers for what they post on TikTok, whether it be against Army values. That seems to be the fucking running excuse when it's something they don't like, or if it's funny or whatever. And I will say this, we have had guests that have come on. The winners of the Best Ranger competition, okay, have come on here and been our guests before. Because they were on U.S. Army WTF Moments. Not the fact that they were promoting the Best Ranger competition. Not the fact that they were highlighting the fact that there were 2 National Guard guys that beat the crap out of active duty Army Rangers, okay? We were told that if they didn't remove, I'll dime the Ranger Regiment and I'll dime out those guys right now. As a matter of fact, now I'm getting mad, Spanky. Why are you pissing me off?
That's my job.
They had threatened to remove the titles of these individuals if we did not remove their posts. And I thought that was the most dicked up fucking move on the planet. However, somebody makes a shit post on TikTok and everybody's fawning over it from senior Army leadership. So there needs to be a fucking standard that needs to be laid right across the board. Because that literally pissed me. I was like, you're kidding me, right? Like, literally the guys who want it were like, please. I mean, we totally understand. And seeing emails, seeing freaking threats, text message threats. See, that's one thing I know about. Everyone talks about U.S. Army WTF moments. Is that we post something and it's bullshit. Okay, got it. Yeah, you think it's bullshit. Okay, fine. Then we post the proof, the texts. No, that's bullshit. You guys made it up. Do you guys want us to release fucking videos of what we do now, of what we get? Because I guarantee it, chains of commands will stop. Units will fucking be suspended for investigations if you want us to post the shit that you say we don't fucking believe. So that's what pisses me off about the Army social media program. It really pisses me off because it's so fucking selective on certain people and everyone else gets to shit post whatever. But then these two guys, the winners of the best Ranger, I'm not going to tell you what year, the best Ranger competition guys, they were threatened to have their titles removed. That is so fucking chicken shit. But yeah, everyone else.
Oh, no, I agree. I completely agree. Because, see, you know, the U.S. Army WTF moments is way better than me because I post names. Like, this is Spanky. This has nothing to do with WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army What the Fuck moments. When I see shit that goes against Army values, like, not even all of them because most of it I don't really care. I don't have that many hours in the day. But if you post some shit about domestic violence, sharp, those kind of things, I name.
Well, see,
I put names.
I get that. I get that, but see, the whole point of our engagements with units. Now, mind you, I'm not pissed off at USASOC. I'm not pissed off at the Ranger Training Brigade. I'm not pissed off at the Best Ranger competition. I'm not pissed off at them. I am pissed off at the individuals specifically within those organizations decided to make it about them to say it's not a good look to be on U.S. Army WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio when we were praising them. Okay. We were praising these guys. Our Army is what we are all about. We simp for our Army, okay? But we're also going to call some bullshit out. So if these two guys from the National Guard or these two guys from the active duty or these two guys from the reserves, I think it was like for what, a couple of years or so, there was a couple of years, like 3 years or something like that, the National Guard was sweeping titles of all the competitions. The Connolly Cup, the what's the other one? What's the tanker one? There's like a tanker one, the Sullivan Cup, and there's and exactly that.
I can't even remember all of them.
Yeah, exactly that. Recruiter times. I wasn't dragging these guys. And let's talk about the Vanessa Guillen shit. A lot of individuals that shit talk about how leaders don't read the report. Leaders need to read the report. Leaders need to read the report. Did you know how many times Vanessa Guillen reached out? Do you know how many times in social media that she was reaching out, or her teammates and her family were reaching out, and were squashed because of it, because it doesn't look good or some bullshit like that? Yeah, I'm telling you what, man, it pisses me off every time I see when we hear about the Army social media program or whatever, or when people like to use the quote toxic leadership unquote. Unless it's them, then they had a reason to act that way.
Right.
It just pisses me off that these guys, I mean, they came on, we were shooting the shit, and we were all happy to have them and all this other stuff, and then they were told remove all that from WTF moments, otherwise, I was pissed. I was like, this is the fucking way you want to roll? Then fine. Would you rather have us on your side to promote your guys and promote what the competition's all about? Or would it be anything? It doesn't have to be just the Best Ranger competition. Or
we had the best medics on.
We had the best medic competition in a while.
Yeah, the winners from that.
Yeah.
As well as at the time, Master Sergeant ran the program.
Yeah, we had
the competition.
Yeah, we had Dr. Ed on. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know why I was like, I can only remember his first name. So yeah, I'm like, it's not like we were just, I don't know.
So here's my thing. If you're gonna post hot takes on social media, and a specific group likes it or a specific group loves it, you're gonna get the yeah, you go, man, yes, you go. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You go, king, you go, queen, whatever. But if it's something that a soldier normally asks a question or wants to clap back to, if you don't have the sack to do it in front of the individuals that you're shit talking about, what was it the freaking Mike Tyson said about the use of social media or use of the internet or something like that? It gives people the confidence that they would say something that without getting I don't want to ruin the quote. Something about getting punched in the face.
When they can't get punched in the face or something like that.
Hang on, let me look at it. I want a Mike Tyson quote, punched in the face. Let me go. Yeah. What was it? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Something like that. He said the thing about social media too and the use of the internet. But again, and then if you do get punched in the face, you'll get ratted out. That's what pisses me off about the Army social media program is that there's only a specific amount of people that get to use it, and then it's okay. But once someone else, now I'm not taking any side for or against Specialist Joel when she posted her shit up. However, but if you're going to say something that is not conducive or not conducive to the Army values to post it, then whatever. Then you need to be the same way. You need to be consistent to everybody else. Again, the guy was talking shit. He got called out. Okay, she called him out. Blah blah blah. You know what this reminds me of again? I'm gonna drop the name again.
Drop it.
Mess Sarmork.
Oh yeah.
She got an AAM for guys posting.
Arcom.
Yeah, or Arcom. Yeah, for guys who posting shit on the internet. She went in there and said, "You guys are meh. You guys are meh." And then they see.
It is really. I mean, the Army social media policy should really just be. Would you say whatever it is you're saying on social media, information, in front of your unit?
To your first sergeant?
Yeah.
Or to your company commander? And if you're an officer, to your raider and your senior raider.
Right. Like if you could say it, it's okay. You're allowed to, have discourse and disagree with things, but you're not allowed to, harass, violate EO, sharp, anything else. And you definitely wouldn't do that in front of your raider and senior raider. So, all that's out. Like I said, it's just, would you say it? So if you would, and you would not get hemmed up for it, then put it on social media. It's like, if you could tell your raider and senior raider you're messing up, you could tell them that, you're not going to get hemmed up or tell them, your boss when they're fucking up. So you can tell it on social media too. But like I said, just think of it like that. That should be the social media policy. I just rewrote it.
And that's another thing too. But then again, not everything is fucking drama. If a soldier has an opinion to what music they listen to, then that's their opinion of what they listen to. They should not be fucking. That should not be held against them. If they have an opinion about a political candidate, if they have opinion, you know what I mean, and they're not in uniform, and they can say whatever the fuck they want, they can say what. Our social media now has gotten Army policing up of social media has gotten so far out of fucking control. It actually assists the media pundits against the military, calling us woke or calling us, saying that we're woke for this, we're woke for that, and all this other shit. And I'll be honest with you. I kind of miss, like when you talked about, you were making fun of my age and shit about how, when you asked me, did they make you carry media cards? Remember they used to make us carry media cards? And in the media,
even the first time in 2001 when I deployed, we had to have little media cards.
Right. So we had a little media card, and what was that media card say? If you are approached or anybody by the media, you are to say, "Here is my PIO's phone number." If the media person continues to ask you questions, then you say, "Here, yes, blah blah blah." Don't keep your opinions, keep it clean, make sure blah 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 that values. Now, somebody from the media says something, and immediately everybody from the military side, fuck Tucker Carlson, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, blah, blah, blah. I kind of keep my fucking comments general about it because, hell, even I'm retired right now, and I still kind of hold a. I kind of hold back. I still kind of hold. Yeah, exactly. I kind of hold back too because I kind of feel like soldier for life. I kind of represent the WTF nation. The soldiers looking at us. They're looking at Grandpa Ice for for their guidance about some of the stuff like that. And I let them vent and stuff like that. But some of our Army leaders that are on social media will drag a soldier for some shit that they would not have said themselves or have had said themselves But then when they get busted out on it, oh no, I was different. That was a different time for me, and I changed, and I matured, and I'm not that way anymore. Well, then fucking do the same thing for your troop.
And you expect that troop to be mature, especially when like most of them are like not even old enough to drink yet.
Right, they're not even old enough to drink, or better, some of them don't even have driver's licenses. So the next thing you know, you're gonna be like, so those cards, exactly that. All those stupid cards. You had I remember at Fort Hill when I was stationed at Fort. You had the Phantom Standard. That you had to carry around?
I had a book.
You had the Phantom Standard, the 5th Corps Standard, the freaking, the media card. You had to have you had to have the uniform card because, there was always the post-sergeant major that felt like he had to have an additional card to the additional card of the card that you already have of excellence. And so you have all these
that said the same thing as his commander said, just with his name on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to have both.
It's literally a legacy building thing. But it's the same thing. I had a media card, and I'm like, even overseas and even in SOF, the same way. It's when you're approached by the media, and the media asks you a question, please direct them to the PAO, and you'll direct them to the PAO. If you do, and you cannot, and you wish to make a comment, ensure that you make a comment along these guidelines. Not detrimental you don't blow OPSEC, you don't blow classified information, and what was the other one? You're not shit talking your unit or something like that, whatever. Now,
and don't speak on anything that you just don't know.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to say no comment either.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to stay in your lane. Yeah, stay in your lane. No, hell no. We have people, officer included, NCO included, have no freaking idea. They just like to throw their fucking jam on it and say, yeah, sure, sure, Buck Sergeant, or yeah, sure, Specialist. I'll be honest with you, though. There's some PFCs and specialists out there that run the Army, and I would fucking listen to them more than a goddamn freaking Buck Sergeant, Staff Sergeant, or any lieutenant. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. Another thing they all get mad about is soldiers dance. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with soldiers dancing. Like, just stop. Every generation has done it.
I'm not going to say I have videos of said activities, or individuals doing such. Let's put it this way: if I were to get all my videos of some of the shit that I did downrange, or what I have videoed downrange, or I have videos of downrange, if I were to made them, I'd be monetized millionaire on TikTok, because you would see individuals that are now some of them are wearing stars, doing some stuff like that. You'd be like,
no, I'm just even thinking about like when I was in basic training, we would do stupid dances in the bay. You got 60 females living in the same room. We're gonna do stupid shit. The world did not end. It's just that we, didn't have cell phones in our pocket, or TikTok, or Facebook, or not even MySpace yet to post them on. So yeah, so it wasn't videoed. I have pictures, but that's about it. I'm like, just stop. Everybody's done it. Stop hating on people that are dancing on TikTok. They're having fun. Like, it's not even dramatic. Like, yes, there are some, people that have dramatic takes and shit on TikTok that are, just asking for at least discourse and discussion. But if they're dancing, you don't like it. You know what? Don't watch.
That's the thing too. I'm glad you bring that up. Just because I say something that is true discourse does not mean that my chain of command has to get called, or or I have to get dragged, or have my account looked at for whatever, when you do probably the same fucking thing, and I may not agree with it, and I might say the same thing. So am I drinking vodka? No, actually,
I was going to ask, what is that?
It is a, because one of the stories I'm going to talk about, and I'll talk about it. It is a Heckler and Koch or H&K thing. When you buy H&K products or accoutrements and stuff like that, they give you some swag. They give you like,
it's a water bottle.
It's a water bottle. So yeah, so that congratulations, you just spent over half of a private's paycheck on a rifle or a gun, and so we're gonna give you some free swag. And so the next, I wish, man, are you kidding? If I was drinking vodka, this is already half. I would be.
You've been passed out by now.
It would be like me talking to Eric. It would be like me talking to Eric from their Will Be Bourbon. Man, I drank almost a half a bottle of freaking Buffalo Trace bourbon on that show. So I'm listening to myself watching it again. I'm like, oof, man.
I think if I had a sip of it, I would probably pass out right now. I haven't had a drink in forever. Not even. I got sick. I barely could keep water down. So
right.
still,
yeah. Oh, I know.
scared. Probably just pass out if I haven't. No. Yeah, no.
Oh, hey, you guys, you don't have to. If you did, we miss a phone call or something like that? I guess we did miss a call.
Oh.
I just saw that we missed a call. How about soldier recovery unit at Fort Campbell under investigation for denying soldier care? Yeah, we got a text message. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I thought we got a. Did you not? Did I miss a call where I was ranting and raving about the best ranger competition? Blah blah blah.
I'm pulling up to see.
Yeah. First time seeing this, and I can't early say you couldn't say this all the time. It's a great show. I appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you so much. I appreciate your patronage. Welcome to the WTF Nation, and you're listening to WTF Nation, or the voice of U.S. Army WTF moments, serving the veteran military community. We have a pretty far reach, and basically, you're okay, Jeff. You're the one that texts. Why? Are you in the military? Or are you like texting us all your stuff? You don't have to text us, man. You can just drop it in the comments right there. We'll catch them. You don't have to, or if you want to call and shoot the shit, we can call and shoot the shit. Matter of fact, after the break, let's take some calls, man. It's been a long time since we've taken calls. So, you still there?
It has. Okay. It has been a long time.
So I'll tell you what, let's take a break. And then when we take a break, we'll then I'll open up the phone lines. You can say what you want. You don't have to say who you're from, or all you can do is say, "Hey, I'm stationed at so and so," and blah 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 blah, and all that, and then we'll be more than happy to hear you out, and we can commiserate with you, rant with you, provide some advice, laugh at you, laugh with you, cry with you, whatever you want. We can go. We haven't opened up the phone lines in ages, so
no, we haven't. The number is scrolling along at the bottom of the screen, or WTFNR.phone on Skype.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. So actually, better off just to call in, so that way we can grab you that way. Yeah. However you want to do it, but 415-889-8367. After the break, you can call, shoot the shit, and there we go. So everyone, refill your glasses, go take a leak, smoke them if you got them in shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Nothing feels the same. Let it all be
here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back on the second half of Sergeant's Time. Man, I appreciate everybody joining in. And you guys did not disappoint on the calls, man. As soon as I said that we're gonna have a, lines are open, blam, 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 blam. So I just clicked the first one on the top. So, anyways.
Right, we can't have everybody calling it once.
Right. This isn't a giant group. So right now,
or you know what you could do is just let them all on, and we'll just take off.
We'll just leave. Let them run it. Yeah, exactly. So we have a caller right now. So caller, go ahead and tell us where you're at.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I'm currently in South Carolina, Fort Jackson.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Well, hello, Fort Jackson.
So Fort Jackson means you're probably of the training type of individual, right? Or training of individual or cadre, like.
That's correct.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got?
Just some. I want to talk to you guys about just training life, I guess, and basic training at Fort Jackson.
Well, it's been a whole lot of years since I went to basic training at Fort Jackson. Yeah. But I'm assuming they're still dancing.
Are they still dancing on TikTok? Is that what it is? Are you part of the training audience, or are you the training instructor?
Training instructor.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely not the audience.
Gotcha. I was about to say, because if you were the audience, how the hell did you get access to your phone? But anyways.
Right.
So tell them what you got, man. What's going on?
I guess there's the product that we're pushing through. It's some places, I guess.
The product that you're pushing through. So you're talking about the quality of the soldiers coming in? Are you saying that you don't like the trainees, you don't like the candidates or something like that? What's up?
Or you don't like what you have to train?
No, being an instructor or whatever is perfectly fine, and I love my job and everything. Just some of the issues that come down to some of the trainees, and that we try to, get them out of the military, but a lot of the times it comes down to where we just have to brush them to the side sometimes because the higher leadership just wants, I guess, numbers to go through.
I actually understand that. I reclassed in, I don't remember what year, but I reclassed. And not just me, there was a lot of, we had a whole platoon full of NCOs that were prior service that were reclassing to 74 Delta. And when they had a sensing session with us, that was like one of our biggest complaints is the trainees that, were fuck ups, like there's going to be some that are just like should not be pushed through, but every single one of them were, and so I see that hasn't changed, and they either, get a rude awakening and get woken up at their unit, or that we have to spend the time building a packet to get them out. Whereas I think, if they're not suited for military service in basic or AIT, they can be put out within about a week, under at Chapter 11, whatever the failure adapt one is. So yes, it's unfortunately nothing new, and I don't think that it's going to change.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I agree.
But what are you seeing though? Are you seeing the fact that they're just not making the standard or something like that? Is it something that because you understand there's a lot of factors that are now even put harder on the training and on the training audience due to the fact that we have COVID. We also have the new ACFT that's not been done yet. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are not really pressed upon that have to be processed for a soldier, or trainee to become a soldier. So is it something that's a little different, or is it something,
I guess disciplinary actions. Trainees getting in trouble, and I guess they just get a slap on the wrist, and they pretty much, go through, and we just kind of try to get rid of them and still push them through. And then there's a whole lot of ACFTs kind of still in the progress of work. So it's kind of a hit or miss on, let's say, a trainee makes so many events out of the ACFT, but he or she's a good trainee or soldier, they'll push them through. But if they see that that person is not a good soldier, but somewhat makes the same ACFT scores, they'll kind of, hold them back or try to recycle them or kick them out, I guess.
Yeah, it's give or take, man. It's like one of those things to where right now don't worry, there are people in the Army right now that are bitching about the ACFT just to do it. We're not even talking about the guys who can't. They just don't know how to. They're just complaining about doing it to begin with.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where holding it to the trainees when the rest of the Army is being just as, I don't want to say whiny, but the Army in itself needs to get more into a fitness culture. I was just talking about that on social media today, that the Army needs to get into a fitness culture and a weapons culture. Straight up. We have to get used to going to the range, and we have to get used to being more physically active, which means we have to get rid of some of the normal stuff that we used to do, like having stupid ass meetings or having an hour of PT but 30 minutes of freaking formation talking. You know what I mean? There's so many variables that, I'll be honest with you, the private will probably say, coming out of basic will probably say, damn, you guys are jacked up. My basic training was better than this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the whole reason why, I wanted to become a drill sergeant is, change how privates acted, or
right.
The Army. I wanted to change the Army as good as a whole,
Well,
and pretty much everyone's hands are so tied behind politics.
Is it?
Or the trainees.
But really, is it?
We can't do anything.
What is it that you want to do? I mean, do you want these kids to carry a bunch of logs or some shit like that? You know what I mean? There's some of the things that some of the is there to reinforce the troop, or reinforce that individual to become a soldier. And some of there's just, I'll admit it, I'm coming from the olds. Spanky will tell you I'm old. That there's just some things, methods of training that soldiers we don't do to our soldiers anymore. You know what I mean? That stimuli of what makes a soldier motivated is not from what that is now. You can't just go carrying logs and shit and making, smoking soldiers, where to the point where the soldier becomes numb.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's good talk. Good talk.
And I also just want to say real quick that I do agree that there's probably a lot of soldiers that, fuck up so bad that they probably should get put out in, initial entry training. But I also think that a slap on the wrist is probably should be the first punishment they get. We're not going to have zero defect soldiers, and we're not going to have zero defect NCOs even. So I don't think, depending on what the offense that they did is, I mean, a slap on the wrist might be appropriate.
Right.
Again, I don't think, an 18-year-old is not going to fuck up. 18-year-olds fuck up. It doesn't matter if they're in the Army or not. So,
exactly.
I guess it just depends on what they did. That they, I don't know, did they not show up, or did, they overslept? I have a teenager. They do that too. So, I mean, like I said, it just depends, I guess, what it is that they did. Or is it a pattern? Are they doing,
I've seen patterns, and I've seen, I understand where you come from, just, small, I guess, infractions or whatever, they mess up one time. That's perfectly fine. But I've seen, multiple offenses, or not even offenses, but I guess with
serious offenses.
Yeah, we're talking crimes.
Medication, stuff like that.
Have you been
in the bays?
Yeah, but come on. First off, think about this. If right now our military health system sucks, okay, So I'm not taking the sides of the privates. I'm not definitely not that. It's just because you know them better than me. But there has been times, I'm sure, where if you had something to relieve pain, like, hell, even just something like over the counter, you had a leave or something like that, and you needed to take some of the over counter medications that you had to take. Would you take them? And is slamming the soldier, if they're legit in pain and they're taking some medication, unless you're talking about controlled substances, then that's different. You know what I mean?
It's more of abusing. There's one instance of abusing their medication,
Gotcha.
and passing it within their battle buddies and all that other stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's some serious ass chewing, some threatening with, hey, we're gonna drop you with some serious threats, and then because we have privates that listen to us too sometimes in basic training, because Fort Jackson command team has been on here before, so and they let their kids listen to sergeant's time sometimes. So maybe we give them some secrets out. I don't know, but yeah, if it's
no.
but we've had.
Yeah.
But there has been I would see some instances where, I mean, that's part of military discipline anyways. It's part of something like, summarized Article 15s or something like that you would do, or extra duty. Or you hold them back and say, hey, we're going to recycle you for another 2 weeks. You're not really doing it, but you just giving them that expectation that you think they are. You know what I mean? I just little shit like that. I mean, but you're the, like I said, you're the one wearing the hat.
I just see these the serious ones as if, say, one of the cadre or, just in the regular Army and NCO or soldier did this, how much trouble they would get into. But these trainees they just pretty much slap on the wrist or whatever and then go on with their lives kind of thing.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you calling, man. Best of luck. Keep us posted.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Yep, you have a good one.
Have a good night.
And you too.
All right.
Bye.
Later. Oh, man. Okay. So, WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, I just want to clarify, am I on the air with the legendary Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Grand Admiral propaganda right now?
You are.
I am. Okay. Well, you ought to know me. I comment and tweet you regularly. I'm that guy named Rob that is at Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Holy shit!
Making a good connection there.
Yeah. I got the.
Oh yeah.
I got the. Oh, hang on, Becky.
Yeah,
you say hat because
we usually comment back and forth about every day.
Right,
yeah,
right.
My real name's up there, so
Yeah.
I'm not hiding nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So what you been up to, Rob? What you got?
Well, just been real busy. Coming off of damn near 6 years of being a first sergeant, getting ready to move to the BSC. So,
damn,
NCOIC, as soon as they move some things around, 26 years later, I thought I was going to do a long-term enlistment. And
I hear you, man.
Whatever, but
Boro, I hear you.
So, yeah, I mean, just first time ever being able to actually talk to you, it's pretty cool. And everything, I just, so what's the good topic tonight?
Well, right now,
what are you guys trying to highlight tonight?
Well, we were talking about some of the stuff, the use of Army social media policy, and everyone how if you post something and it's in agreement with some people, it's good to go. If it's something that just rubs people the wrong way, then everybody goes after you, and then people will try to drag you, or you see the engagements that I have on Twitter as well. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah. So for some of the audience that don't have Twitter, I am the IO guy, who's also known as the Grand Admiral Propaganda, and so that's just the name only because I like Star Wars and I like Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that was it. You know what I mean? So, and I'm also the information operations subject matter expert. For only because a PSYOPer can do IO, but an IO cannot do PSYOP. That's just me. So
and I just love cheese. So
yeah, and Spanky loves cheese. So so we're just talking about actually some of the stuff me and you talk about though, Rob. It's actually fitting for tonight because we do have some conflict going on in social media. How some individuals are allowed to say something and everyone gets the follows, the likes, and the claps, and then we have individuals that will just ask a question like today and ask a simple question. And then the individual gets dragged, and everyone was thinking that individual was the one that did it, when really she was posing a good question. And the question was, is that should Should prayer be led in any meetings at a unit meeting? Should there be a prayer at the beginning? And immediately everyone's like, oh my God, clutching pearls, and you're not thinking about this. And I dropped what I said and then moved out. And the next thing you know, I saw a bunch of people just going, brah, you better brah, you're not. And she eventually said, hey, it wasn't me. I was just making sure that I wasn't wrong. You know what I mean? So
right, yeah, I was in on that too and everything, and I saw her just pose the question, and it was something to the effect of, as a Christian and also as an officer, is it appropriate to have a Christian, or I think she might have even put the term like evangelical or Protestant prayer before a unit function of some sort and everything. And she was just asking the question. She wasn't saying she was the one that did it, or that she thought it was appropriate or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, here come the wolves, typical mill Twitter.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Go figure. I mean, who didn't see that coming?
Yeah. Well, no, don't worry. We're going to have there's going to be in the future. There's going to be a sergeant's time. We used to do screenshot Thursdays, and so now what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna change that subject to it was a segment where we just get screenshots from first from whatever unit from WTF moments, and now we're gonna have screenshot Thursday along with mill Twitter drama, or the just little stuff up here just to see just to give the audience, because some of the audience we're on different platforms, and there's like a subculture for each platform. So there's the Reddit culture, there's the Twitter culture, there's the Facebook culture. So there's different members of the audiences that don't know this is happening. But you're right. They're wolves that swooped in on her and immediately just, you know what I mean? So it's like, whoa, it's just, God, man.
Yeah, right. It's like, and I mean, your post today was perfectly appropriate. Let's pump the brakes here. There's so many of you just reading into it, and that gets back to just a cultural issue. Period. Is everybody wants to just get out there with that wolfpack mentality and attack anything that their preconceived notions say is wrong, or that they don't agree with. They want to pig pile. In a lot, unfortunately, a lot of it's ideological. It's politically driven, and they've developed their little cliques on different platforms. Twitter is pretty left leaning. Facebook, who knows what's going? You got a big hodgepodge of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But everybody has an agenda behind what they do, and they let that override objectivity, because everything is based from a subjective perspective versus an objective perspective, and they want clout on the internet and they attack. Right. And it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, Joe says that the Reddit culture is like going to the cantina on Mos Eisley, in Star Wars. Exactly.
Right.
It's like you're walking into it's like walking into a freaking everything's hostile anyway. So anytime you could just tweet one thing. We don't do. Why don't we do more live streams? Well, Donovan, we are on live. We're freaking live streaming right now, dude. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on 2 Facebook pages, and we're on Twitter right now. So we are doing some pretty. And if you had got into the TuneIn app, or you go to WTFNationRadio.com's website, you just click on that, and you can hear us there too. And we've got a bunch of platforms, bro. We got a lot more than what you think.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, it's kind of like you said, the Mos Eisley Cantina, and you just hope that when you push send on that tweet, the Greedo isn't sitting on the other side of the table with a gun in his table, or a blaster.
Exactly. Or you could inadvertently be like the droids. You walk into Mos Eisley Cantina as a droid. We don't serve your kind here, and you're like, whoa, hey! All I did was just ask a question, and that's literally what happened today. So
yeah. Yeah, that was one of the more interesting ones that went down today and everything, and it's just like, and then on the other side of the spectrum, then you have all kinds of people that just because they have gotten into the right, segments or clique or whatever, people that are absolutely not qualified to speak on anything, in terms of leadership doctrine, military experience, leading troops, and so on and so forth. Why do these people seem to have the loudest megaphone and seem to be standing on the highest hill trying to preach down at the rest of the people when they're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's so many.
Exactly.
So many instances.
Yeah. Oh, I know, man.
Social media. It's a fun place, but it's also kind of a hell site sometimes. So.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, Rob, thanks again for calling. We got more people trying to call in, so I'm trying to snag them up.
Absolutely.
All right, brother, man.
Chatting with you.
Yep.
We'll talk to you later.
See you out there, man. I'll see you out there. All right, later. Hey, Spanky, unmute your mic.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
There you go.
Sorry about that. Oh, hi, Rob. I'm saying hi to you. Trying to hear me because I'm mic muted because someone's telling me to stop typing so loud.
Yeah, that's the automatic now. That's all. When you type so loud, I just hit mute Spanky. As soon as I heard that, she's like anger. You got like all that fierce NCOness coming out. That's just like, rah, you know what I mean? So, call back again. I just saw you call and then blew back up. So if you didn't get to call again, that's on you. We'll shoot the shit a little bit more. I saw a couple of calls there. So if you hadn't already called, then go ahead and dial again at 415-889-8367. We got the lines open.
Yes, I typed that very quietly. Like with one finger. You didn't even hear me type.
Didn't even hear it at all. Didn't even hear it at all. Somebody asked about the.
I don't know why I type so aggressively.
You're just like, give me give it to me. Give it to me, baby. Give me that.
And my nails are short now, so you don't even hear the clicky clicks.
The clickety clack.
Yes.
Somebody said, "Hey, what's the story of that? The story of that? Oh, the F-35. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, here. As a matter of fact, thanks for the links. As I was speaking, someone sent me image of the F-35. Supposedly, this is the F-35 that is out there that everyone's trying to get. Everyone's trying to grab. So you tell me. This is there we go. So there's the F-35 doing the baby shark. Doot. Look at that. F-35.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Yep, F-35. The F-35 just hanging out there, just doing whatever. Just saying, hey, yep. Aggressive is the motto. Exactly, Donovan. So that's the status of the F-35. That supposedly this is a photo that's been circulating around the U.S. Pacific Fleet, which operates, out of Pearl Harbor. Didn't disclose any further information about this condition, but it's reported to be making arrangements to recover the plane this week. So observers suggested that the Chinese could move into salvage that place. That's a good question, Lee. How come we just don't blow it up? What's stopping?
Not me. I want to learn to blow stuff.
How about to say I'd have lobbed some grenades at it. I'd have been like, I'd have damaged. I think it's all the sensitive equipment that it's got on there. That's why. That's probably why it's not. It's not conducive to leave it up there like that. But there you go, doing the baby shark. Do. Would you be interested in doing a segment about soldier care and soldier recovery units? Well, what do you mean? Are we talking? Hey, Jeff, why don't you call up and ask? Why don't you see what's going on? Call us up, Jeff, 415-889-8367. We get the gist of what's going on.
And if you can't call now, then send me a message and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, send a message. Send a message to the US to the WTF Nation Radio Facebook page, or actually just email contact@WTFNationRadio.com, and we'll be able to assist you in that. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I'm going to have to type one more time.
Yes.
So they have the email address. And not just for Jeff. Like, if you guys have, something that you guys want to put out on the show or want us to talk about on the show, let us know. I'm not going to say yes, we'll do it all. But, we might.
Right. Eliza,
yeah,
exactly
I mean, if there's something interesting, then, hey, yeah, we'll research it and put it out. Or maybe invite you on to talk about it.
Wayne says that they already got the blueprints for the factory, so Chinese. Yeah, you're right. I know China does take a lot of our shit. It's when you order your stuff from Wish. Every time you look at an airplane, just look at the Chinese. Go on Google and say, "What is the Chinese version of this aircraft?" And it looks like they ordered it from Wish. From Wish. I wish sounds like I'm fucking drinking after drinking. Holy shit! Doing on the Army promotion system. Becky says that you should get Becky said that you should get a headset.
We have had the G1 on here.
Yeah,
before.
Exactly.
So yes, we've had the entire G1 command team.
We had the entire G1 on here. So there you go. I swear there is vodka in there. Joseph is swearing. See now that I'm stuttering over myself, he's making it sound like I do got vodka inside my little HK. Pookie says that I look like the type of person that would own a USP. Yeah, I would. A USP? Hell yeah, dude. Okay, well, all right, yeah, exactly. She's ending wars and starting global peace with that keyboard. Exactly that, man. People are scared.
All right, I'm backing away from the keyboard, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. You just talk, Spanky. Just talk and send me. I don't know. Use your phone to send me a message or something like that.
No, well, I'm gonna have to answer Jeff. So sorry. Then I'll stop typing.
Okay, hey, you guys, let it ring, man. Okay, let it ring. I'm seeing a call and I'm about ready to answer it, and then it just like stops. So if you don't let me answer the phone, I can't get you on here. With Spanky, you guys don't have to be afraid of Spanky's angry typing. I'll just mute her too. So how about that?
Okay.
It's not my keyboard. Everyone's looking at me. Hands up. I'm gonna mute you, Spanks. How about that? There you go. So Spanky's muted. She can hear me, but she's muted, so she's probably gonna be like, so as a matter of fact, I should do that, huh? Every time Spanky's about ready to do that, I should just, it's a mute, and bam, there you go. Spanky doesn't have all the, Joe says that you typing loudly. She's muted. She's really typing hard. But anyways, 415-889-8367. If you want to shoot the breeze, well, we have a few more minutes left of our broadcast. Jeff says the keyboard is mightier than the pen. Liza with their little sparklies on there, exactly that. So there are soldiers that think a prayer at unit events is new or something, or never attended a ceremony of events. No, this is more like a training meeting or a staff meeting or something like that, opening up a prayer. And I'll be honest with you, like I said before on social media, that if you're out there look, nobody likes meeting anyways. As a matter of fact, there's some things, that term that there are meetings that could have been done in an email. The last thing I want to hear, and I'm not saying I'm not religious or I'm atheist or I'm Gnostic, whatever, or I'm not Christian or I'm a Muslim or whatever. I got shit to do. I don't. The meeting is already bad enough, and it's already, I hate meetings because all depending on what it is, usually some individuals just like to talk, and so a picture is worth less words than Spanky's. I tell you what, Liza, Spanky's freaking. She's had whole countries stop tweeting against us. We had Paul from Nepal. We haven't heard from Paul in a long time, anyways. Hope you're out there, Paul. Hang in there, man. Get pissed off. Brigade staff meeting also have a chaplain does a prayer as part of the why? Why do we have? See, that's another thing too. The brigade staff meeting, there is a chaplain that does a prayer. I have seen chaplains in a staff meeting do the word of the week or some shit like that.
Yeah, in all the brigade staff meetings and even battalion staff meetings I've been in, our chaplain would be there, but he didn't start with a prayer.
No.
We always let him go first, so, he can do his chaplain things and then get out the meeting, and I never thought that was fair.
Yeah,
I want to save my stuff first and get out.
Yeah, he was just like, the chaplain would be like, you start off and the next thing I'd see, it'd be like, okay, all right, let's do special staff, and you see the meeting, and all of a sudden you see the chaplain stuff. Hey, sir, here we have the word of the quote of the week or the quote of the meeting or something like that, and then as he's talking, you got in the background the freaking quote of the brief, and then he's like, we have strong bonds thing going on, we have a single soldier retreat, we have this, and this. All right, next slide, and then that's it. We don't do this. I've never seen, or I don't think it's proper anyways, to do my Lord, Lord, thank you so much for bringing us all together for this meeting that nobody wants to attend.
See, I would approve.
I would be, Lord, thank you so much for not, I can't believe we're doing it. I'd be like the rogue chaplain. I'd be the chaplain that'd be like, dear Lord, I think this is messed up that we're in the meeting. Please don't let the battalion or brigade commander, talk so much. And then God help us that the sergeant major doesn't open his big gap. In Jesus' name, we, amen.
That's why I couldn't be a chaplain.
Exactly. I'd be like, exactly, Jeff. Freaking chaplains. I mean, first sergeants and commanders like to hear themselves talk. Some of them actually will ramble just so that way they think that word salad.
Like, dear Lord, please let this meeting end now. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dear, exactly that, Wayne. Lord, may this please be a short and brief, And don't get me wrong. Now, if you're doing some event, you're doing something that's kind of crazy. I have seen individuals who are agnostic or atheists and were ready to do an operation when I was deployed, and they were praying just alongside everybody else. You know what I mean? So, exactly. Please let this meeting end soon. Amen. This is the way. I'd be quoting a bunch of like Mandalorian shit. I mean, this is the way. I have spoken, Lord. Lord, I have spoken. Please let the battalion commander not open his big gap and ramble all night, and please make sure that Alpha Company stats are good to go, so that way we can all go home. In Jesus' name we pray. This is the way.
Let dental have many appointments. So all of our soldiers can
exactly. Oh man, Lord bless it be to Brent Pros. Just see right now. Is there clouds over my? I'm looking at. Has it been snowing where you're at? Has been? I know the mountain complex has been dealing with snow, and I don't know, everybody else. I think Fort Bragg had a snow apocalypse or something going on.
Oh no, we here in Central Texas we got a flurry or two.
Oh no.
But yeah, no, we didn't get them. Thank goodness. We got enough last February. We are good for like 10 years now. So hopefully it stays, warm. I can't deal with that coldness.
Yeah, man. As a matter of fact, I have yet to do a read run. Let's see. We always do it. We always do a weather brief. So let's see what the weather's like. And let's go through all the areas. So Fayetteville, North Carolina, right now it's clear at 31 degrees. Fresno, California is 57 clear. Colorado Springs is 17 degrees clear. Overland Park is 32 with expected flurries in the next hour. Tampa is 60 degrees. New York is 30. Memphis is 39 degrees and cloudy. Washington is 34 degrees and cloudy. Columbia, South Carolina is clear with 38 degrees. And Aurora, Colorado is I just punched out 19 degrees. Yeah. Woo, man.
What are you, the fucking weatherman now? Sorry.
Are you the fucking weatherman now? Exactly. Lord, please make sure that Ice does not yap about the weather in the next show. In Jesus' name, so mote it be. So say we all. And that's crazy. Tell Valhalla keeps us safe. Amen to Odin. See, exactly that. What happens if like someone's like, anybody want to lead prayer, and you have like a heathen standing on top of the conference room table, by praise be to Odin, and then you like get a hammer and hammer the freaking S1 on the top of the head or something like that, or one of the first sergeants or the commanders, just kind of. What's the weather in Sheboygan in New England? It's just waiting on snow. Wow, man, yeah, this weather's been kind of crazy. Speaking of which, I know Ukraine's freaking cold as hell. So I'm just gonna say.
Oh yeah, well, we should probably tell Russia that we don't want to do anything in the cold.
Right, all this drama that we got going on.
Push that off till summer.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what Ukrainian weather is like right now. Ukraine weather. Let me Googleize it right by myself. Let's see the Ukraine weather forecast. So currently it's 34 degrees with some rain. Precipitation is at 48%. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cold. 36 degrees. It's always that wet cold though. It's not like the dry cold.
I am currently at 52 degrees with haze. I don't know. I haven't been outside in a couple hours, so I don't know what the haze is.
Yeah, exactly. But game off until summer, exactly. You know what? Do I want war? No, I don't. Actually, I hope everything works out. There you go. So, how about that? You know what I mean? But also, we have charters, right? We have commitments that we made, and in order for us to have that, what do they call that? Political capital, or you would say, or the. We're not going to let Ivan just mess around, right? What if you had family from there? You know what I mean? Ivan's doing all that bullshit. So exactly that, Les. I pray for peace, but I guarantee it. If you were to send a bunch of CSMs and first sergeants and tell them and brief the enemy, the freaking brief Ivan, the training meeting stats or something like that, I guarantee it it would delay the whatever they're trying to do because these guys won't shut up. So what? But anywho, everyone's I see the mass holes are in there talking in the chats. They're all like,
oh gosh.
You see them in there?
Worse than the back of brag people.
Oh shit! The clam chowder people. You got a back of brag clam chowder. You got some clam chowder.
The water is warm.
Water.
They say it. I can't
Shut
get
up!
It.
While you talking crap, you know. Yeah. Also, the phone line is open. That's right. Exactly. Thanks, Eliza. Eliza's like being our secretary in there. What's up with that? She's like.
She can have my job. She can do this angry typing.
She's policing the chats right now.
I really, I'm sorry. I did have to send a few text messages. I have to do front desk things too. Sometimes it cannot wait. So. Yep.
Well, I'm gay ice. I will say that a member of some individuals of the gays have complimented the show, and they do appreciate and they do listen. So thank you. Clap back. But I'm not gay. Thank you. Are you cruising for a piece of ass, Branko? Is that what it is?
Wait, where was that one comment? If Branko, scroll up. Someone was looking for a nice young man.
Yeah, exactly. There was an individual that was looking for some men's. I know, Branko. I appreciate you propositioning me, but I'm not gay. But if you would like to have if you'd like to have some men's, scroll up there and look for some men's. But anyways, okay. So what do we got going on? Since
we're gonna get some lemon pledge out real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I know our wonderful executive assistant had something going on today. So for the next couple weeks, we have the next guest we have coming up is on the 10th of February, and it is Shayla Scholl. And
oh, really?
Let's see.
Yes,
okay. On the 10th is Shayla Scholl.
Okay, and then we have a month later, because I know our calendar's trying to get built up.
Yes, we on the 25th of February we have a guest on Friday, Mark Lieberman, and then on the 10th of March we are going to have the command team from USAREC.
Yes, USAREC is coming back.
Yes, it is a new command team since the last time. We've had USAREC on, so because those people move, they go to new jobs, new people take over. So yes, they are going to be on to talk about their March Forward initiative, and we'll get to hang out and chat with the new command team at USAREC.
I'll be honest with you. For a bunch of stuff that USAREC takes online, I admire them coming on. I think it's cool that they come on.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's like one time. I will say this: if you guys that are new to WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments' podcasts, there's sometimes I will say something on air. Me and Spanky will jabber about something, and the next thing you know, I will say there was a command team. I'll say again, Major General Beagle, who's now currently the commander of 10th Mountain Division, who was the commander of Fort Jackson, and Command Sergeant Major Jeremiah Gann. They heard us going back and forth, giggling and laughing, and they like, hey, I'm gonna come online there. I'm gonna sit here and talk to you guys so we can clear things up. We're like, whoa. So I'm curious to see what USAREC's gonna come out.
Yes, come on. Like I said, we do not shy away. We will pull out the general flags and the Sergeant Major water bottles or whatever it is that they like.
we do
a big old water bottle.
Exactly. Yes. USAREC, U.S. Army Recruiting Command, not USAREC. USAREC. I think you're getting confused with U.S. Army Europe.
So. Oh yeah, not those guys. They have time zones. They don't like us.
Yeah, because
we did this live. We don't record.
Yeah,
we do it live and then put the recording out there.
Well, I mean, we could do it. Yeah, we would like to record it, but it just doesn't have that effect, and you guys and the fans, can't interact. So, so we're gonna have, like I said, you'll see some graphics get posted up once Mom gets back and knocks out some cut sheets, and she's got shit going on because she's out doing stuff anyways for us. And she's got a lot of things going on herself. So, you'll see the post, you'll see the adverts. Dude, what'd you think about CQ's guest? Oh my God, dude. I could not stop freaking out. I was eating chow and dude, I literally almost spit my food. I was laughing so hard when his guest, if you guys didn't listen to CQ's guest last night, oh dude, it was freaking hilarious.
It was Tuesday night because I listened to it yesterday on my way home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I usually can't catch Tuesday shows live. Like I can pop in for a minute, but like again, I just download the podcast later. Especially if he's got a cool guest that I wanted to hear. So right. Yes, it was hilarious, and I gotta like stop listening to him while I'm driving because then I like kind of zone out, and start cracking up, laughing.
Right. He
I'm like, oh shit, I'm driving.
He had Joe Godet, who was a voice actor. And I about freaking lost it when he was doing the Arnold impression. I wanted to call in and imitate Arnold. I have been told I do an okay. I don't compare to this dude. This Joe Godet just like freaking destroyed it. And I was.
That's probably why he does it for a living.
Yeah.
You don't.
I was like, holy shit, this dude freaking just like went off and just like, and then. I was the one that asked a question, hey, can you do Arnold in Spanish and can you do it in German? And I as soon as he did it in Spanish, I could I couldn't help it. I lost it. I was sitting there eating my chow, drinking my food, drinking my drink, and lo siento. I could, and so that's what I'm saying. I can only do it like that. I can't do it like a good. He was doing a good speaking Arnold voice. Everyone does the wow and I'll be back and all that, but this dude does like speaking like Arnold. Like speaking like Arnold, and I was like, "Damn, dude!" So if you haven't checked out Pop Culture Warrior show from last night, and Joe Godet coming on there, dude, you got to catch it. He does voices also for he has deep fake videos and stuff like that. So check that out. Oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing. It was a great show last night. I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, wow, I couldn't stop laughing. What are you doing? I was trying to speak like Arnold, but he just blew me out of the water. You know what I mean? So, what's that?
Very good.
Was that an okay?
Like an A-.
That's like no, dude.
What's the thing? I'm so.
No,
okay. But our guest was an A+. You're like an A-.
No, I'm not. Dude, that's like he is graduate level, doctorate level Arnold. Me, I felt like a C student. No, how you doing? How you doing? Then can you speak in Spanish? Lo siento. I'm just talking about how I was like, God, that's good. Then he did it in German. I loved it, or Austrian, because he's from Österreich. So hey, Bailey. It's okay. You can always download our podcast, Bailey. Speaking of which, I'm glad you brought that up because you can listen to us on 14 different platforms. We're broadcasting now on what we just said before. We're on 2 Facebook pages, Twitters, YouTubes, and Twitch. Not to mention the fact that you can just Google up on the Google Play and download us there. Or you can use Apple Podcast to download U.S. Army WTF Moments' voice, WTF Nation Radio. But yeah, don't forget we got so tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, and you want to listen to guys. See, that's like C-level shit. This dude is like, I'm blown away. I sent it to the boss too. I was like, hey, listen to this guy, because we always when we play Xbox, we're always making fun of Arnold. We're always shit talking Arnold. Welcome to the party, Victor. And then freaking, he just lost it too. But anyways, tomorrow's Friday Night Freedom. Cause is back, right?
I am not sure. If Cause is not back, then we might not have actually Friday Night Freedom tomorrow. But just watch the page. We'll post the promos when we figure this out.
You might see a promo come up. You might see Cause. Yeah, hell yeah. I think I got some shit going on tomorrow, but I think I'll be able to. I might be able to swing something if Cause can't. I mean, I'll do a Friday Night Freedom-ish, kind of like that. Maybe have Pookie come on, and then maybe if Cause can't do it, maybe I'll do Friday Night Freedom.
Friday Night Freedom Ice Edition.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah. Hey, Chris. Chris coming from Montego Bay, Jamaica. Not bad, man. Hey, man, thanks. Appreciate you listening in. You're catching this in the last part of the show. So the first video we had was each of us from the Ukrainian military. And so now the video I'm going to play after this is going to be at the end of the show, at the end of this podcast, will be the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the shovel. If you guys not seen that video yet, don't worry about it. So you're gonna listen to some music, and then the video, then the outro of Sergeant's Time, and then you're gonna see the Ukrainian video, and then you see the outro of Sergeant's Time. So with that, Spanky, you got anything else?
No, thanks everyone for joining us. Sweet dreams.
Yep. Y'all have a good one, and say shots and see ya. Bye. Have a good night. See ya.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
There's a lot of tough talk on Twitter, but there's not a lot of real talk.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.